Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in, let me ride.
Okay, I'm here with Rosanna Eckert for our third Musicians Minute, and I just want to ask you, what is one of the things that has helped you the most on your musical journey?
The thing that has helped me the most, I would say, is maintaining a curiosity about every aspect of that journey. So, learning how to be your own teacher. Because I got a little bit of a late start into my musical journey as a solo singer. I was an instrumentalist primarily before that, and so the singing thing came a little bit later, and I felt like I was out of school before I felt really developed in that way. So I had to get a really healthy curiosity going about vocal technique, especially, and try to go to workshops and experiment a lot and go and ask a lot of questions. I would go to people who I thought, oh, I love the sound they're making. How did you learn to make that sound? I asked a lot of questions, and then I learned about, the idea of keeping your rib cage expanded and engaging your abdominal muscles to have really good breath support so that this can be free to vibrate and make sound. It's been a long journey, but now I really enjoy teaching technique and still discovering more about it, and everything from technique to like the music business side, having a curiosity about that, just really doing it yourself and knowing that you can,
Yeah. Who were some of the people that you went to, and who were you curious about how they got their sound?
Well, let me see. Initially, I started teaching voice lessons at UNT early in my singing life, and there would be people who would come and study with me, and they would be able to do certain sounds. I mean, maybe I could teach them about improv and phrasing and style, but there were certain sounds that they made that I didn't know. I'd never heard that sound before. So I would just ask my students, hey, how'd you learn to make that sound? And they would say, oh, well, I had a teacher who told me, nya, 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 to do this. And I would just bank that idea. Interesting. So we would help each other. I think it's still that way. I have students now, maybe not as much with technique because I'm 20 years farther down that road, but now it's where did you learn that tune? How did you learn that tune? Or I love the styling of that. Who influenced you with that? And they'll tell me an artist I've never heard of. And so I think having that community and reaching out to your friends, it doesn't matter if they're 20 years younger or 20 years older or what. We're all in it together, so we learn from each other. That's amazing.
Yeah, what are some of the instruments that you played instrumentally before you really got into singing?
Well, the main one, I started piano when I was 4, and that was kind of hit or miss a little bit there. But the main instrument was French horn. That was my main instrument. And I played that all the way through my master's degree in college. Even when I kind of decided to study jazz voice, I was still on French horn scholarship at UNT, so I played that a long time. And then as I decided to be a songwriter with my singing, I knew that my piano facility needed to improve considerably because that would really improve my songwriting. So I made a strong effort, and I took some lessons from some classical lessons, some jazz lessons. I transcribed a lot from records and tried to imitate people on records. And then I would have to accompany my students, so I was getting a lot of practice. I was just always trying to be better, and I still am. I still practice piano all the time. So those are that. And then I kind of switched to trumpet once I didn't play horn as much. I had a couple of opportunities to play trumpet and flugelhorn. And I tried one summer to learn how to play electric bass, and I still remember a few things, but I can play a little guitar, I can play a little drums. Just a constant curiosity and trying things. So we have a lot of instruments in this house, and we're always trying to play things. Yeah,
that's awesome. So, as a songwriter, are there any tips that you have for up and coming songwriters? What are some things that have helped you as far as songwriting goes?
Well, imitation, regardless of what you want to achieve, you know, you want to be a great chef, you imitate the great chefs that went before you, and then you find your own way. It's the same with music, with writing, to not just enjoy the writing of others, but to really get in there and see what are they doing? What is that? How did they do that? You know, you're analyzing form, you're analyzing chords and the progressions, and even the voicings, maybe. Analyzing the structure of the song, the lyrics, and you develop a repertoire of like almost like mentors, but on recordings. And then again, experimentation. You try to maybe write a song just like that one, but a little different. So I'm going to take the song form of that song. I'm going to try, see if I can do a song form like that. Or I'm going to, he used 3 chords on the A section and then 6 chords on the bridge. I'm going to try that. Different chords, but that concept, you know, or whatever it is you're copying. So a lot of copying and a lot of listening. And then eventually it's interesting. You just kind of develop your own voice. As long as you don't listen to just one person, then you're just kind of a copy of that person. But if you really broaden your, you know, listening and transcribing memory, you know, imitation spectrum, then yeah, your voice will be a little blend of all the things you love and everything in your history. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you so much. This has been so interesting, and so honored to get to talk with you and get to look up to great musicians like you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me.